Hi Virgo, this is your general tarot reading for Virgo Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of April. So let's have a look to see what's happening in the skies for April while we're waiting on the right cards to come out here just for you Virgo. So what is happening? Well, we know that as you leave March and enter April, there's a bit of activity in your 8th house. You have the Sun there, Uranus there, and Mercury is retrograde in there at the moment. And what is that doing? Well, the 8th house is, firstly, it's intensity, deep focus and deep transformation, and perhaps with issues around loans, debts, other people's money. Maybe you're managing money for other people through your work or through some family situation. But it's all good because the sun is shining there, making things seem a little bit brighter and healthier in some way. So you'll be able to manage that. Mercury retrograde in there might be allowing you to receive money back from, say, some governmental agency, a tax agency or something like that. You might get tax back or money back from some official source. Or it's also shared resources. Maybe your partner is going to receive money that's been due to them. Or maybe if it's an ex and you're maybe waiting on some money from them, it might be a good time as we leave March and enter April to maybe see that money. Show me the bloody money. Either way, it's good. What else have you happening there? Jupiter is still retrograding in your 3rd house of communications, of siblings, of neighbours, short trips, short journeys, any acquaintances that you might have through work or through groups, not very, very, very close friends, but people that you might know or work with. And the Jupiter retrograde is making you go back a few steps, open things out and expand things out, perhaps with your siblings, your brothers and sisters, and trying to eliminate some of the intense issues that might have been lingering around there. So that's quite a positive thing to happen, Virgo, because if there has been some crap between you and brothers and sisters, it might be a nice time to take some of the intensity out of it and clean it up a little bit. As the first card just fell out there, talking about brothers and sisters taking the intensity out of something and maybe healing something there, we get this. A very sad card, a difficult card saying, yeah, with the people that I've fallen out with, it's not so easy to try to make amends with them. Yeah, I know that. I know that these things don't often come easy, but they're worth it when they do come. And here we have a beautiful card, the card of healing beside that. It's also the card of new love, but we're going to talk about this later. The Ace of Cups. So perhaps it is a case where this issue with your brothers or sisters perhaps, or even with neighbours or people that you kind of have an acquaintance with that you might have fallen out with, maybe there is some healing that can happen there, Virgo, which is a good energy to happen, a good energy. Cards leaping and jumping. One just fell on the floor here. Let me get this, Virgo. The Psychic Queen just leapt out there, the Queen of Wands. I'm going to lay that down there and we'll continue until we have the big picture, Virgo. We have Venus as we leave March, entering April in your 9th house. So it might be a wonderful time either to go on a foreign journey, to go somewhere where there's a foreign culture, foreign people, foreign accents, foreign food. Maybe go there and find love somehow. And if love is something you're not interested in, because we know that there's a little bit of an issue around your love life and relationships. We'll talk about that too. If that's something you're not interested in, then perhaps you're just going to have really good communication with somebody across the water, somebody that lives far off, and it'll just be a pleasant experience. See, yeah, there's a card leaves out there. The 9 of Cups. Lay that down there. And let's see what else is in the energies. Oh, there's a card here I didn't see. It had turned itself over in the deck and I didn't notice it, but we'll take him out. It's the 8 of Wands. Okay. Going to foreign places, perhaps. Really, really wanting to jump at that. Maybe with somebody who's from a different culture than you. Maybe you're inspired, Virgo. Are you inspired by somebody from a different culture? King of Swords, left out there. 7 of Swords. The Tower. The Tower. Something is coming down. Something is getting cleared out, and we will figure that out when we look at the cards, Virgo. Only a couple more cards to go, and I'll just continue with the energies in the skies. There's a new moon happening on around the 15th of April. That's also happening in your 8th house. So the intensity and the intimacy and the deep focus you've been having either with a person or with shared resources or finances or your debts or loans or anything, taxes, anything like that, the new moon will bring some new insight, some new way to have a look at that. So it's kind of the issues you've been having with shared resources, all the things we just spoke about. Around the 15th of April, you'll go, ta-da, I know how to fix this. I know how to run with this. And you will have better opportunities to do that. You know, some of you could actually be paying off a loan once and for all, paying it off. Or maybe getting somebody else to pay off your loan. Wouldn't that be good, Virgo, if we could do that? But, you know, it's not beyond what could happen here with this energy. Mercury finally goes direct in your 8th house on the 16th of April. So all communications run smoother. If you're traveling to places regularly, like if your job involves traveling a lot, then things are going to get easier, because you might find that things just, there was one thing after another where every time you try to organize a journey or organize people, make meetings, bring things together, there was always one person who just couldn't make it. And usually they end up calling you at the last bloody minute. So that will come to an end mid-April. It'll be a lot smoother. The Sun on the 20th goes into your 9th house, joining Venus. So again, you see, I was telling you about finding love with somebody from a completely different culture. Somebody who has perhaps even a lot of knowledge or wisdom about something that really interests you and intrigues you. You could find that you're very, very much in admiration of them, to put it mildly. And a couple of cards coming out here. We have the 8 of Pentacles, the Magician, the Ace of Pentacles, and the last card coming out, the King of Pentacles. Okay, so the end of the month really does look like, where's the full moon? The very last day, there's a full moon in the 3rd house. So yeah, as the month ends, the issues around money will just get that bit better, that bit smoother. You'll be able to communicate better ideas and better insights on how to fix that. And perhaps because Venus is also going into your 10th house. 10th house is authority figures. Sometimes towards the end of April, you might really speak to an authority figure or a government official or a bank manager or somebody like that to figure out how to end any of the financial problems you've been having, any of the debt problems that you may have been having. Now, I trust you Virgos to be smart. I'm talking about the energies. If you don't have any loans, if this is not your situation, then, you know, I'm just going to tell you, these are the energies. These are the most likely events that are happening for Virgo in general. You get general. So it's just something you can play around with. These are, the energies are just something that you are to be aware of. 8th house, intensity, deep focus, and so on like that. Money, finally fixing that. You'll figure out how that works out for you. And hopefully you figure out how love with a foreign culture or a foreign person works out for you. That would be very nice, Virgo. Okay, finally, let's go have a look at the cards. Come. Can you see that there okay? So This was the first card we pulled here, Virgo. What the heck is going on? Now, we do know that a lot of you Virgos are really having a bit of an issue around your love life. And we've spoken about this before, Virgo. It's because Saturn, Pluto and Mars are in the 5th house, which is to do with romance, which is to do, you know, falling in love and how you are within love and so on. It's also to do with your creativity and children too. So there's just issues going around that whole thing, which could leave you feeling a little bit like that. Saturn and Pluto are now going retrograde in April, so they could be just adding more fuel to the fire along with Mars there. And he's rocket fuel. He's adding rocket fuel to the fire. So as April enters, there will be a moment where you might be feeling a bit heart-weary, heart-worn and upset that something always seems to come between you and your happiness. Somebody or some situation, there's always just some bloody roadblock, Virgo, it seems, this is the way it seems, between just you and having your happy ever after story. And it's not always a person. A lot of the times we might say this is a third party, another person coming between you and a lover. It's not always the case, Virgo. Sometimes it's just the energy. Every step you take forward, somebody or something just vroom comes between it and just makes it a bit difficult. And it is a challenge. If you're wondering why that happens, perhaps you might want to go back to my January video where I talk about the effect that Saturn's having on you, you know. Pluto's also, as I said, gone retrograde there, and he's demanding a big transformation in your love life. Perhaps even for those of you who have children, you know, there's big transformations happening there, and with your hobbies and creativity. But there may be a thing at the start of the month, Virgo, where there could be intense jealousy and perhaps even obsession, where some paranoias can come out, where you're focusing on your love life and maybe becoming obsessed about it, saying, why can I never have the love of my life? Why? You're beginning to think that you're born under an unlucky star, but it's not true. It's not true, Virgo, not at all. It's a moment, it's a thing that's happening, and you're going to be feeling it acutely in April. And I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that it's a moment. It will pass. And usually people hate Saturn, and now they'll probably be super angry with Pluto and Mars too for digging up all this stuff happening in the 5th house of romance and love and so on, and children and hobbies and creativity. Because you're saying, can you not just give me a break? Why can't I have this smooth? Why does Saturn always have to make me feel like this? But the answer is, it's not because he's been an asshole, and it really might feel like that sometimes. There's actually, in retrospect, when you exit this finally, in retrospect you'll see that he was really trying to do you a massive favour. It's just his methods that are a bit shit. That he goes in and he makes things difficult for you deliberately, so that your head is always focused on this issue, that you can't turn away from it. He demands your attention, and once he has your attention, he then shows you the hard way why your love life is possibly not as authentic as it could be. For example, I remember when Saturn was going through my 5th house, and I was in a relationship at the time, and I thought it was a wonderful relationship. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but it was good. I loved spending time with them. We went places, and it was just good company, and it was great fun. But when Saturn came in, he said, yeah, you see, this is your love life, but what you have is somebody who is great company and good fun. That's what friends are for. You know, that's what acquaintances are for. That's what pets are for. You know, well, actually, no, we do love our pets. But you're not really supposed to be in a relationship with somebody who is just a good friend, or somebody who just stops you from feeling lonely, or somebody who just helps you afford the mortgage or the rent. It's supposed to be much more than that. And that's what Saturn's trying to get you to do. He's trying to say, baby, look, you deserve more than this. They might be lovely people that you're attracting. They might be honest, decent people that fill you in some way with happiness. But they're poor substitutes for the real thing. And this is what Saturn's trying to do. And it's going to be awfully uncomfortable. But if you understand that really he's trying to stop you from doing the same old habits of not looking for your true love, but rather looking for somebody who's good enough for now, you know? And so that's why I'm talking to you about this, because beside it we have the great healing that's coming now. Chiron is moving out of Pisces and into Aries, and this is going to last for around 8 years. And this offers a new healing, but healing the identity, healing your personal wounds. And see how it ties in. Your personal wounds are around relationships and are around attracting perhaps the wrong people that just don't tick all the boxes. And now is the opportunity in March with this new Chiron energy to begin really looking at that and healing it, and to begin looking at Saturn and saying, okay, we've got to do this. I don't like you, you don't like me, but I get it. I get what you're trying to do. I get that you're the hard taskmaster. And really, I also get that you're trying to give me a lesson here, a lesson in trying to find love that doesn't end up looking like this shit, but love that, see, the divine hand, the celestial hand, Saturn coming out saying, no, it's not this that I want for you, baby. It's this that I want for you. And I know that it feels like really a torment right now, but this is what I'm trying to bring. This is what I'm trying to heal. And now Chiron, the wounded healer, healing this wound as we speak about. This is what all the planets in the skies and the energies are trying to heal, so that you get this new love, this true love. And what is true love? Like I said, true love isn't somebody that you can just pass time with. True love isn't somebody that helps you just financially. Somebody that is in a career that you admire them for, or that maybe they blah blah blah, all the things that you can write down on a list, Virgo, they're not really important enough qualities. True love is the important quality. Somebody who makes you throw that damn list away. Somebody who makes you throw the wish list of he must be this or she must be that or they must be this. Blah, blah. No. When you meet true love, that list goes out the window, because it's love. It's just love. So you see what energies April is now beginning to bring to you. A new revival in how you love. This is the turnaround, Virgo. It's quite important. Rather than looking at other people in your relationships now and saying, it's their fault that the relationship is going bad. It's their fault that everything's shit. If only they were this person. If only they wouldn't do this. If only they wouldn't do that. The turnaround comes now in April where you're saying, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just attracting people and trying to hammer them into shape when really the raw material of pure love isn't actually there. Maybe I need to heal that so I can have my aura and my vibes going, true love, only from now on, true love. And it begins with this wonderful healing that happens, the conversation between you, maybe, and Saturn, or you and the gods, you and the universe, you and the cosmos. And once you really accept that healing, then you're really on your journey to bringing this new wonderful love in. Because as I said, I was telling you the story that when Saturn went through my fifth house, I was in a relationship with somebody who kind of ticked all the boxes, and we were very happy together. And then towards the end of the Saturn transit, both of us, but really me, both of us realized that we were just very, very, very good companions. And the time had to come to really let go so that we could make space for somebody that really was our love, that really was our Romeo and Juliet, or whoever it is. And actually, after that transit ended, and my God, was it hell, and there were many substitutes, you know, the gaps, the voids that you have in relationships where you say, oh my God, this person isn't my true love, and I still feel that void in my heart, so I might fill it with food or alcohol or partying or something. So excessive stuff can happen to fill that void too. That's also what you might be having to watch out for, trying to fill the emptiness with something else. And in the end, you realize that it's got to come from you. And in the end, for me, when the transit ended, I ended up meeting my true love. Really, that's how it happened. But it wasn't before a bunch of shit happened in the meantime. It wasn't before I had to accept the truth that I couldn't just continue along pretending that things were okay and just thinking happy thoughts and wishing for the best, you know. So it was a gift in the end, all that fifth house work. Do you see what I mean, Virgo? So push through, baby. Don't let it get you down. There is a happy ending at the end of this transit. Now let's change up a little bit. So here we have you, the Queen of Wands, that gorgeous fire energy. She's a psychic queen. So you might find that people are coming to you, Virgo, in April, and they have problems or issues that they might want to talk to you about. And you have these wonderful answers. They trust your deep intuition and wisdom. You've got this going on because you've 8th house energy there, and the new moon then happening in the 8th house. It's like you're the psychic one, the one that is able to go deep psychologically into your problems and other people's problems. And you'll find that you just seem to be this type of, I don't know, house doctor. Is the psychological doctor in? Ding dong, the bell is ringing all the time. People want to talk to you. They want your opinion, and you've got the answers. This is you also feeling very empowered and very much in control. Again, lots of 8th house energy will do that, giving you drive and passion to go into your life and to feel more inspired too. I mean, whatever has been happening for you over the last couple of months, Virgo, you might have felt disempowered in some way, that the flame had gone out of some things in your life. But April is bringing that back. You'll feel more relaxed, more in control. But relaxed and more in control also with a sense of satisfaction in matters of the heart, in romance, that deep in yourself. I mean, where is the moon? We've the new moon in the 8th house, then a full moon at the very end of the month, to do with emotions, emotionally fulfilled once you feel this beautiful, fiery passion again for your life. So there are two lovely energies. You know, you could be feeling very happy and satisfied and deeply emotionally fulfilled with somebody who is very fiery. Usually we'd say it's a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but mostly it embodies this type of heat from a person, somebody who gives heat and fieriness and passion, and somebody who may be connected to you very deeply and psychologically. See, the psychic energy is there, represented by the cat, that they can look deeper into your life and spice things up for you. And this is the energy that you are attracting, and this is what gives you that sense of fulfillment. Will it last forever? I don't know. With the energies that are happening with Saturn, certainly this person could be triggering this deep psychological work, or maybe helping you through their love or through their passion to open up emotionally and finally figure out what blocks may be happening in order for you to finally achieve all the things we've spoken about, Virgo, to have this wonderful emotional satisfaction. And here we have the Eight of Wands. You're ready, okay? You're absolutely ready to throw everything at something. You hadn't been feeling good as the month starts, but now you're kind of saying, no, I'm back on my feet again. I feel more in control, more empowered. My energy is on the up. And I'm ready to give it socks. I'm ready to just give it everything. I mean, why throw one wand when you can throw 8 of them? And that's it. It's like everything you've got is going into some project. And it could be going into a creative project, because this is an air sign to do with ideas, creativity. Perhaps you're feeling that you have a very good idea of, you know, something creative, and you're now filled with passion to get it moving. For some of you Virgos, you could be filled with passion for an air sign. That is also Libra, Gemini and Aquarius. And you could be feeling that you're throwing all your passion at them. Now, the downside sometimes to throwing all your passion and drive and energy at somebody who might be quite in their mind all the time is that this fiery passion might be met quite coolly, quite logically, and maybe not necessarily with the passion you were hoping for some of you Virgos, you know, because we, you know, everything we've spoken about, feeling that every time you give your heart to something that there's a block. Perhaps look at this fiery energy that you're giving all your fire and passion, and there's a sword ready to kind of take the fieriness out of it, and you're hoping, you're saying, oh, come on, you don't have to be so in your mind about things in love. Can we not just feel the heat, feel the passion, feel the deep transformations that love can bring, that can give us this fulfillment? Can you not be so standoffish? You know, so you're throwing all your energy at a relationship, and the other person might appear to be quite standoffish, but it's almost like you can't quite put your finger on it, because you're throwing energy at them and they're able to rationalize that, and you're saying, why can't you give me the heat and intensity that I want? And they're saying, well, perhaps because you did this and you did that, and perhaps because it's not the right energy, perhaps because it's not the right time. They seem to have a logical answer for why they're not engaging in high passion with you. And really, they'd want to listen more to you, Virgo, really, to be honest with you, because you are full of passion for the month of April. You are full of drive. So it might be a good idea for you to sit down and explain that you kind of want something a little bit more than just an intellectual relationship. And you sure they might be good people. But everything we spoke about earlier, that yeah, they might be good people, but really, if you're throwing 100% at them and they are kind of smiling and being nice and kind in return, but not giving you that same element back, then that might be something for you to really have a think about, Virgo. Excuse me, is this something you want to continue putting your fire and passion into? Now here we have the strategist, somebody who, sometimes it represents somebody who goes in all guns blazing, who is ready and prepared for a battle, for a fight, somebody who is on the high defensive mode. And this could be you, Virgo, that you go in kind of ready for a fight, but yet something changes, and you kind of turn around and say, okay, this is not the direction I want to be going in. I'm just going to get my stuff, get my shit, and just walk away and look over my shoulder at this madness, at this craziness. I'm not going there. I really just going to take a few steps back, step away. And this is the energy of you putting a plan together, having a strategy to walk away from what you perceive as an accident waiting to happen. as a disaster just about to ready to explode. Something is about to reach a tipping point. The volcano is already given off the smoke, and you know this baby's going to blow any time. And you're saying, no, I need to walk away from this. I need to get a strategy together, a little scheme together, so I don't get caught up in this. Whatever's going to hit, whatever lightning is coming that's going to strike something in your life, even in your relationships, or some situation going on in your life, you're saying, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be caught up while they're all falling down and going, I'm gone. I'm out of here before that happens. So it's a little plan, it's a strategy. Sometimes when you make these plans and strategies, it requires you to do something that you're not entirely happy with, and that is having to keep your plans to yourself, having to, what other people might perceive as being a bit sneaky. Yeah, some people might say it's sneaky, other people might say, no, it's called protecting yourself and getting a plan together so that you don't have to deal with this shit when it arrives. And what is this shit when it arrives? Well, something in your life, possibly everything we spoke about, your relationships, something has to give. You can't continue pretending anymore, and you can't continue trying to hold up something and support something that has to come crashing down. Your support for something that is not genuine has to disappear. Your support for something that is false has to come down. And if there are people around you, Virgo, that are building themselves up and kind of bigging themselves up, kind of giving themselves all the credit, or they're fake in some way, that's going to come crashing down, and you're prepared for this in some way, and you're prepared to turn your back and walk away before the shit hits the fan. So you have to be a little bit clever and a little bit wise. But this card, it always says, yeah, sure, be clever, be wise, get a plan together, get a strategy together, but don't ever lose your sense of justice, your sense of morality, let's call it that. That, sure, while you're making these plans, don't be the shady one yourself, because there's always that danger that, you know, when you try to do something good and protect yourself, that you don't want it to be done at the expense of another person, because all these energies eventually pass, and you don't want anybody looking back and saying, oh yeah, I remember when the shit was hitting the fan, Virgo just sneaked off and left us all in the shit. So the plan should also involve you not screwing people over in the process, okay, Virgo? So that's just a heads up. I think you're smart enough to figure that out anyway as the month progresses. But here's you, Virgo. You're wanting to get your focus together. You're wanting to ignore a lot of the dramas and traumas that are happening in your life. And in order to do that, you kind of realize that you're going to throw yourself into work, into the thing that you do, perhaps even into your studies. And you want to balance out the madness in your life by putting everything into your work and trying to master some skill, trying to turn something that maybe it's a creative project, turn something creative into something really worthwhile and something that eventually has value. Again, we're going to talk about 8th house issues where you might have a look at your financial situation and say, do I need to work a little bit harder to get myself a better income? Do I need to work harder to master something so I can increase my value on my resume, you know? And so they're the big questions. And for some of you, do I need to look at my finances and maybe seek outside investment, maybe through a bank loan or through asking somebody to come in and... Sorry, Virgo, the camera, again, Mercury retrograde, of course, the technology just never works the way it is. So what I was saying, yeah, I'd finished speaking about that. And what happens then is you recognize that doors are opening for you in April, Virgo. There's new opportunities, new choices, new avenues. And it's like that you're mastering a skill and you're working very, very hard. And it's this hard work which opens new doors for you. Could some of you be trying to look for investors for a project, or trying to get somebody else on board with you for something? What you'll find is that the energy is there for that to happen. The only thing always to watch out for, the magician can sometimes represent somebody who talks a good talk but doesn't necessarily have much to back that up with. So your focus will allow you to see through these type of people in your life in April too, Virgo. People who talk the talk, and we said this before, I think there are people in your life who kind of are big on celebrating themselves. They're big on telling you how wonderful they are, but there's probably not an awful lot of substance to back that up. And I think you're going to see through that too. I'm just going to move the camera up here now, Virgo, for the last few cards. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles, a beautiful card. It's an earthy card. It's your element, Virgo. And this is you. See, you've got two things happening for you in April. The hand of the universe is coming out and offering you healing and a new way to see how you love, because it's what you're putting out there essentially that's attracting the type of people that you're attracting. And that penny will drop for you in April, and it'll be a big turnaround for you. But likewise with your finances and with your self-worth and with just you in general, Virgo, from the deep-rooted core, you are now going to start valuing yourself a whole lot more in April, possibly because of everything we've been talking about, Virgo. Your self-worth is just going to, it's going to take an upswing, and you're going to be just that bit happier. You feel that something in your spirit is changing, that your identity, who you are, is starting to show through. And it's very rewarding. This is a card that offers a reward also in some way. In April, you might find that people are giving you reward for something that you really worked hard for, something that you deserve. And the universe is the... Really, Mercury retrograde, never try to work with technology. I just keep getting cut out, Virgo. Sorry about that. But I'll just say again, this is the universe rewarding you in some way in April for hard work that you have done and achieved. And look at this, by the end of the month, it's definitely something with your finances, because you're going to feel more in control by the end of the month. You're going to feel like this guy, fully and completely aware of what you now need to do from April moving forward to manage your finances and to feel more in control of your life. It's a great card. The Ace to the King. Money. You're going to figure something out. You're going to be rewarded for something. And your purpose too, your self-worth, is you're just going to seem to get this big panorama of how you value yourself. And it'll be a total 360, and you see all the areas in your life where you haven't been caring enough about yourself, where you haven't valued yourself really enough, where you have allowed negativity and destructive thoughts to enter and to take away any good luck that could be coming in your life. You will see that once you get back grounded, once you have solid and secure security in your home life, in your financial world, and in your spiritual world, then you can have the whole panorama, take a good long look and say, I know where I'm going from now on. And that's it, Virgo. From April onwards, you're suddenly going to realize, I know where I'm going. I know where my destiny is taking me. And I'm not going to allow, as I said, negativity or feeling that I've been born under a lucky star somehow affect my ability to be as wonderful as I can be, to have the future that I can have, to have the things now, not in some dreamy future, but to have them now. You can have all that. You can have all that. And like I said, from the Ace to the King, the penny will drop. And literally, the penny will drop. I think some of you are going to really see the pennies from heaven finally drop in your direction, Virgo. So don't forget us when you're a billionaire. You know, you can still keep coming back. And if this is the first time watching my videos, by the way, don't forget to subscribe. You can like and share. And Virgo, do come back next month, because if you're in the money, then we want to see what that looks like, you know. And enjoy the month. It is a wonderful month for you. And it's quite intense. I mean, this is a long video. It's over half an hour at least. Anyway, it's a long video, but it was worth talking about with you, Virgo, because the negativity and crap that has been going on, you're going to get this wonderful sense of understanding it. And when you understand it, you're going to break through something and get the money, baby. Virgo, I love you so much, and I really hope you enjoyed the energies for April. I'm going to send you a big kiss for luck. Mwah! And do come back next time. And don't forget, you can join me on Facebook, She-Bear Tarot. I add extra content there every now and then. You can join me on Twitter and Instagram too. But either way, you can just join me next month. That's good enough for me. I'll see you next time, Virgo. Bye.